And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Or should I say, no, actually, good afternoon, everyone. Or should I say, good evening, good morning, good night, depending on where you're tuning in from. My name is Nipun, and this is episode 3 of London Tonight, even though it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But still, I did call it this show, so I'm going to have to stick with it. So joining me today is Mike from Givo Mics and representing in East London. Unfortunately, we have no one representing North London or South London. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully we get something sorted soon. And obviously myself representing one of the West London clubs in Chelsea. How are you doing, Mike?
Yeah, I'm doing alright outside of West Ham, including West Ham. I'm not, but yeah, big up for having me on again.
Yeah, well, feelings mutual. It's other than the fact that it's actually a roller coaster supporting Chelsea. Just like Gennaro Gattuso said, sometimes it may be good, and sometimes it may be shit. Do you know that? Do you know what? You've seen that?
Yeah, I love that clip. Yeah, I love that clip. I use that clip all the time.
Yeah, that's literally Chelsea right now.
You're doing well though, right now. To be fair.
Yeah, but I'm not getting carried away because I know that I've seen. Oh, we're doing so well, but then it all falls apart. So you know what? I'm keeping it calm. The only way I'm ever gonna say, you know what, we can mount a European chart. Look, the pessimist in me is still saying we're finishing 7th.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think you guys will like lowest you'll finish maybe 6th, but I think you'll be in the top 4 race. Just because like I like put it this way, yeah, the quality in the league isn't great right now for me, and I feel like you're better than Tottenham, you're better than Man United, and maybe not Villa, maybe not Liverpool, but you're up there.
But look at the teams we beat. So we won like Wolves. I mean, like, no offense to you, West Ham, and Bournemouth, which we weren't even good.
Yeah, but sometimes like a lot of those teams around them, like around you guys, won't be able to beat them. You just got to beat what's in front of you at the end of the day. I think you guys will rise up to the big games as well. And against Man City, I don't even think you were bad. They're just too much for you. Like I think you could really give it a games to some of the teams I'm going to finish around you, if I'm being honest. And I think what I've been really impressed with Maresca is just he's managed to get an identity like straight away, which is what our manager lacks. Like a good coach can like show what they're about a few games in when they're managing a team, and I think he's one of them.
Yeah, I never saw that much with Pochettino.
No.
But look, the thing is, I actually rate Pochettino as a manager, but I stand by what I said. He was insulting us on purpose. Because look, who did he manage before in the Premier League before managing Chelsea? Tottenham. Like I even said on Twitter, Pochettino is Tottenham's man through and through.
Yeah, like that's the thing with Poch as well. Like I think he is a good manager to an extent. I think he's a good top 4 manager at best, but even then, I think even though people can say, "Oh, he only had 1 season" or whatever, but I could see an identity with the Poch side. I can see an identity with the Maresca side, and people could be like, "Oh, but the squad was better." Well, Poch approved a lot of those players that was at Chelsea, so and he had options there. I don't think he used the right options at Chelsea and got the right balance out of the squad. Whereas Maresca can do that. He's playing the exact same way he did it at Leicester, and just switched it up a bit. So that's just my opinion on that.
Sorry, there was just a lot of background noise, so I had to like close the door.
Yeah, no problem.
So yeah, I mean, like, we'll see. Like, if he gets us playing well, happy days. If not, I've seen worse.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think he's the right man to trust. I just think give him time to get the players to gel, and then you'll see what he's really about. and then you can assess at the end of the season whether he's the right man to take you forward or not.
You see, look, a lot of people say, oh, he's a yes man and all that. I mean, to a certain extent, I agree. But I think you need a yes man as your manager. Because, like, at the end of the day, he's working, he's employed by Chelsea. Now, what do you think would happen? Like, I'm employed. I'm not going to say who I'm employed by because that's confidential information. But if I went to my I say yes, 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 3 bags full. But imagine if I went to my employer saying, no, you need to change some of this. You need to improve some of this. What do you think's going to happen?
You
I'm
get
going to
fired,
get
bro.
sacked, aren't I?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, though. Like, to be fair, I think the term yes man probably gets thrown around too much in football, just because every manager's pretty much a yes man. If you're all looking in the same direction and you're happy at the club, you're going to be a yes man because you all want the same thing.
Yeah,
So
Pep is a yes man.
yeah, exactly.
Look at look at what happened to managers who aren't yes men. Think about it. Jose, not a yes man.
No.
He basically got sacked. A lot of our managers at Chelsea weren't yes men. Hence why Roman got rid of them. Everyone says, "Oh, Roman didn't only." Yes, he did. Oh, Roman only wanted yes people in the job.
No, yeah, for sure. For sure. Like, I think most owners do. Well, every owner does. No owner wants someone that's going to disagree with them.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, you might not like something, but you just have to suck it up if you want to work.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So then, I mean, you can suggest, like, this is who I want in the transfer market. This is who I think will work. But at the end of the day, leave the business side of the things to the sporting directors. You focus on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there
Yeah,
are
like,
very few managers that have a good talent ID. In fact, there's
yeah,
only one manager in the Premier League who I think should have a say in transfers, and that's Pep Guardiola.
and even him, he has Tixi above him. That's why managers aren't directors of football. Because if they just ran it themselves, it'll be a mess. Most of the teams would be a mess. Like, that's why director of footballs exist.
Well, Fergie was when Fergie was there, he never had he had a direct say in all the transfers.
I know, but it's a different era. Like, you can do that. You can't really do that now.
Fergie, Wenger, and even Jose in his first stint at Chelsea, they all had say in the transfer window.
Oh yeah, every manager has like, well, not every manager, but most managers like will have a say. But I'm saying, like, if they just ran it themselves, purely just them, instead of letting someone just identify it for them in this era of football, it would be a mess. You get a mishmash of players. Like, the quality would be so far down. That was the problem with us last season.
Yeah. One second. I'll be back in 1 second, Mike.
All right.
Yeah, much quieter. So yeah, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying that if what's it called? The managers have good directors of football now, and I think with back in the day, I think it was just different. Like it was very easy for you to identify a player and be like, "This is what I want." But now it's so specific because it's so robotic now that they need director of footballs to identify something so specific for what they want, rather than
Oh,
back in the day where it was a bit more free flowing.
oh yeah. Now that I bring up this comment from Zayn, the only poor refereeing decision in the West Ham Liverpool game was the Gakpo offside. Well, it doesn't make a difference. You guys still won 5-1. And that's what I want you to get on next. Were Liverpool really good, or were West Ham just terrible?
I think it was more us just being terrible. I don't think they needed to be that good. I think we gave them most of the goals, but also when the fact that, like, don't get me wrong, I do agree when people say it wasn't a 5-1 game, but that doesn't matter in a cup. You literally just got to win or you don't. But it was a lot of the last goals came after the red card. It was because we had 10 men at the end, so it's just like it was way more open. But the manager just set us up all wrong once again, wrong lineup, and then he gets angry. But you put the lineup out, and you didn't put a lineup out that made it look like you wanted to win anything. You just put out just any sort of lineup that you wanted.
If I'm a journalist, I'm laying it on him. I'm like,
Yeah.
Why did you? I'm talking straight facts. Like, say if any manager and I go into a press conference as a journalist, and they come out after a defeat, I'm saying, why didn't you? Like, say if it's Lopetegui, I'm saying, why didn't you change it around after you went down to 10 men?
Exactly.
Rather than being stubborn and playing clown ball.
That's the thing. Why I would ask him, why did you start Cresswell and Supar if you want to do well in the cup? And your second choice fullbacks, you started both of them. Started 34-year-old Cresswell at Anfield against Chiesa. Like, what are you talking? Like, what are you doing? Like, Supar was out of his depth as well. He got ruined by Gakpo. They literally targeted him. They just kept passing the ball to Gakpo to target Supar. It was just a ridiculous lineup in general.
Wait, who was the guy that got sent off?
Alvarez. Yeah, he was terrible.
Oh yeah, I saw a lot of Liverpool fans laughing at him for that.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like with Alvarez, key player for us, but he had a terrible game. Had like a good 10 minutes, then he ruined it by going for that rush challenge for no reason. He didn't need to do it.
Do you think
like Emerson was there?
Sending off?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like there was no need for it. Emerson was next to him. You didn't even need to go there and tackle him. But it was a terrible tackle. That's meant to be one of your strengths.
Yeah, I mean, like it was. I mean, like if I'm a defensive midfielder or a defender, I'm not going in for the tackle unless I can get the ball.
Exactly.
And he should have thought of that rather than say, you know what, I'm going to show off and play up for the cameras. Yeah, that didn't really pay off for him, did it?
No, it didn't. And that's why we were already going to lose, but it just made it even worse. Just put that on top.
At what point did you feel, you know what, we're not winning this game? Like, at what point did you feel that, like, you know, there's no coming back from this?
When the draw came out that we were facing Liverpool at Anfield, that's when I knew we weren't going to win. When the draw came out. Because we don't try to win at Anfield. We always miss our chances and always so naive every year. We're going to one of the hardest grounds in the world.
Now, come on, Nottingham Forest went to Anfield and beat them.
I know, but I have no belief in my club to do these kind of things because we don't win at these grounds because we always go in with a poor mentality, and it comes back to bite us every year.
And it comes from the manager. Like, say if I'm a manager of the team, I'm saying I don't care if it's Liverpool, I don't care if it's Man United. You go out there and give it your all.
Exactly, but we never do that. And he put out a shit lineup as well. It's like not even give us a chance.
Why doesn't Lopetegui use that sort of mentality I was saying just now?
I have no idea. I don't think he has. He doesn't have the balls. He doesn't have the balls to manage this club. I know we're not the biggest club in the world, but he doesn't have the balls to do it.
Do you think? What do you think? Do you think you should go in for Jose? Like, say, after he leaves Galatasaray or something. Like, you know what? Maybe.
No.
Why not? Proven.
It's not the same Mourinho. It's not the same Mourinho.
Not the same Mourinho. Still wins trophies everywhere he goes, though. Well,
he's not going to get the best out. He's not going to get the best out of the players we have.
You don't think so?
No, because it's just I just want I don't wish like to play a certain style of football at West Ham, but with these players that we currently have right now, you have to play on the front foot. You have to, because we've got more attacking talent than we do defensive talent, and we're just wasting Paquetá, Kudus, and Bowen, and Somerville. Like, we're just wasting them every year.
And
We've got another manager who doesn't use them correctly.
Doesn't that clown Lopetegui know that you're not going to get anything from playing defensive football with a player full of attackers?
Yeah, this is the same problem I've had for the past two managers. They've done the exact same thing. Exact same thing.
Well, to be
They
fair,
can't
David
coach.
Moyes, it paid off with David Moyes, and he won you a trophy.
No, but I'm saying, like, for the past year, even a year we won a trophy, we were still getting battered with attacking players that we had, because he sat back on defenders that couldn't defend. It worked in the cup because we were so much better than the teams in the cup. We were way better than Fiorentina and AZ Alkmaar. But when we came to the Premier League, we've been battered for the past 3 years under two different managers because they've approached the games the exact same way.
So what sort of manager do you think your team needs?
I don't, in terms of people, I don't know in particular, just someone that plays on the front foot, because it's not my job. Like, the director of football, that's meant to be his job. So if he can identify someone that can get the best out of the players, then cool.
Do you think Ruben Amorim could have done that?
Yeah, I do. But we didn't pay the release clause for his contract, and I think that's come back to bite us.
Yeah. But didn't he show an interest on wanting to manage you guys?
He did. That's what I mean. He wanted to manage us, but the release clause, we didn't pay it. But it is what it is now.
Why didn't you pay the release clause? I mean, he said, I want to manage you. Why didn't they say, owners, okay, Sporting, here's the release clause?
But I have no idea. I don't know what they were thinking. They made a big mistake.
Yeah, I mean, like, I even think before we went for Maresca, when we were replacing Pochettino, Ruben Amorim was my first choice.
Mhm.
Enzo wasn't even in my top 10, so I just hope he proves me wrong. Like, I'm
Yeah, he's a
happy
good
to
manager.
be proven wrong if it means my team do well.
Yeah, of course.
And here's something to I've seen a lot of people like this. Like, what makes me more angry is not rival fans, is fans of their club that would rather be proved right than their team do well.
Oh yeah, I hate that. There's people in our fan base that do that. It's so annoying.
Why?
Because they're weird, and especially online people as well.
Piss me off more than rival fans.
Oh yeah, same with me. I think especially online as well. I don't think they don't represent real life. Like, if you go online and you see all these people that have these stupid opinions, when you talk to a person in real life about football, it's not really the same. But there's so much illogical stuff online because all they want is interactions. That's the problem.
Yeah. Just a lot of people just need to wake up and smell the coffee. That's all. So now 7-0 versus Barrow. Well, I mean 5-0. I predicted 7-0. But look, all I'm gonna say is, like, everyone says, oh, it's Barrow and all that. I'm just gonna say, Arsenal lost to Nottingham Forest when they were in the Championship. They would say, oh, it's a people with short memories would say, oh, it's a Premier League side you lose to. No. When they lost to Nottingham Forest, they were in the Championship.
Yeah. That was the year they got promoted.
Yeah, and no, was it the year they got promoted or the year before?
No, it was the year they got promoted. Steve Cooper.
Okay. Oh, and also another one, which, if it's just a League Two side, I don't know if they were League One or League Two at the time, but we had Carlo Ancelotti at the wheel. And we got, I think it was Carlo Ancelotti or Jose, one of them. And we got knocked out to a team called Bradford City, and they beat us
I remember, yeah.
2-4 on aggregate. And we had a lot of the big players like Lampard, Drogba, Terry all starting. So I don't want to hear it's just Barrow.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that Bradford game.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear it's just Barrow.
Of course.
Especially from Chelsea fans.
Mm. Yeah, of course.
Like from rival fans, I'd expect nothing less. But if it's your own
Yeah.
fans that are doing that, like who, in other words, it's like, oh, I have no faith in my team. Like, put it this way, you can't win. Like, say if we had lost, it would be like, oh, you can't lose to a League Two side. But then say if you win, oh, it's only Barrow. You can't win either way.
Yeah, you can't. That's what rival fans are like.
And some of the fans in their own, well, the hardest to please fans, as I would say. Like, it's unacceptable to lose to Barrow, but then if we beat them, it's only Barrow.
Yeah.
Where's the consistency in that?
There is none.
So, I think we've covered both our clubs. Now, unfortunately, we have no Tottenham, Arsenal, or Palace representatives to give their thoughts, so we're just going to have to give our own. So, Tottenham versus Carrier Bag FC. I mean, how shit have you got to be that you lose 3-0 to a 10-man Spurs team?
Yeah, I mean that explains the levels, I guess. I didn't see the game, but it says a lot.
Yeah. And before we move on to Arsenal, let's all take a moment and laugh at Man United. What
Bro,
did they think?
nothing's changed at that club.
What was Bruno Fernandes thinking? Oh,
I
I'm
don't know.
just going to give away a penalty.
Terrible. It's terrible. He's so overrated.
And the funny, and I can't believe that he believes in his own. You know, the worst thing is that not pundits overhyping players, or saying that or giving them unnecessary praise. What I find worse is players believing in their own hype.
Yeah.
When they know they're not that good. And Bruno genuinely believes he's that guy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I
Yeah, you can see it.
Do you remember the time in which United fans were saying he's on KDB's Oh my god. I remember.
This is typical Man United.
He knows exactly who he is. I'm never going to forget that Bruno. And then he also said Virgil van Dijk is better, is Harry Maguire. He said that Harry Maguire is better than Virgil van Dijk. Do you remember? You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Big up Saeed, though. Nice, you're a nice guy in real life. I've spoken to him.
Same.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like that's what Man United fans do, though. Like they get gassed over the tiniest things, and it never ages well.
Look, when they signed him, I said Casemiro is going to be a good signing, but don't expect him to keep up those levels in the long term. And then you know what? I had Man United fans telling me, "Oh, he played for Real Madrid." You had Kroos and Modric holding your hand.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I had even a lot of United fans agree on me with this one. I even said on a space full of United fans saying I would take a prime Kante over a prime Casemiro, and and most of them laughed, except for a few that said, "You know what, Nippon, you're talking sense," because he did hold his own in a lot of our games.
Of course, yeah. Great player.
Like, I don't remember, like he ran. I don't know if it was after he left Real Madrid. It was the year we won the Champions League, and he ran rings around the Real Madrid midfield.
Yeah. I think was it not the game you lost in the Bernabeu?
No, it was the year we won the Champions League.
Oh yeah.
So the year before that.
Yeah, I remember that game now.
But look, there's an agenda against Chelsea. So that you'll always find people trying to downplay. Have you ever had that everyone's against us feeling when it comes to West Ham?
I think every football fan has that against their club, but I don't buy into the whole victim mentality that every fan base does, because at the end of the day, everyone has an agenda against everyone. So I just try and stay out all of the agenda talk and just try and talk it from an objective point of view.
So do I, but then I get dragged into it.
But yeah, I just don't buy into the victim mentality. Like, I feel like a lot of our fans do it to dictate, deflect the responsibility for when we lose games or when we're in bad situations. Like, if it's by the media, just ignore it. Just ignore it. Like, I'm sorry, but they like, for example, like the radio shows and even some of the fucking podcasts we see on YouTube, they're just peddling out stuff to get a reaction because that's the game. So you got to ignore it.
Look at the private chat.
Nothing's come up.
Take the when you said victim mentality.
Oh, right. But yeah, that's not. I wasn't referring to that. But
no. I know you weren't. But
yeah.
sometimes, sometimes they might be taken the wrong way when you say victim mentality.
Yeah. I just think, I think people know what I mean. They should know what I mean anyway. But like, I feel like purposely direct, like, not you. I'm saying if that was to be purposely directed and taken out of context, they're doing that on purpose because everyone knows I'm just referring that to as a footballing space.
Of course. Oh. So yeah. So Arsenal, they won against Bolton, and then I think they also won their Champions League game as well.
No, they're true. 0-0.
0-0. Who are they playing? Oh yeah,
Lazio. Atalanta.
Sorry, Atalanta. I knew it was an Italian club.
Yeah, just before the City game, they drew 0-0.
I mean, what was Thomas Partey thinking? Like, going in for that brainless challenge.
Yeah, he's had a terrible start to the season.
I know. I'm going to get my. I even said on Twitter, if he's not careful, he's going to get himself sent off. I mean, I feel he should have had at least. Was he booked in that game?
I don't remember.
If he wasn't, he should have at least had a booking.
He's had a terrible season. He's just been constantly run out and constantly slipping on the floor because he can't take mobile players anymore. He's completely lost his legs.
In my opinion, I don't think he should even bless you.
No, I was confident, Durham.
he shouldn't even be playing because of all those allegations against him.
Yeah, yeah. I have no idea really. It's very complicated to get into that
I'll
sort of
be
stuff.
right back, Mark. Yeah, and I also wanted to say, like, a lot of. I also wanted to extend a message to Rodri. I really hope he recovers from that ACL.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
It's not easy to recover from these sort of things. He's
No,
out for the
no.
season.
Yeah,
I can't believe there were so many Arsenal fans celebrating that injury.
yeah,
Disgusting.
yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. One second. Yes. Sorry, that was my brother playing the piano. If you hear anything.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I think that's Arsenal, and I mean, sorry, you can't. That's disgusting. Celebrating an injury like. And when you call them out for it, they just tell you to go and cry about it.
Yeah, that's online for you. That's online people. That's weirdos online that just hide behind football profile pictures.
And that's the same. Oh, you know who we were talking about earlier on? Thomas Partey. Yes,
Hmm.
he did the same to. He's the one that ended Rodri's season.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah,
And I've seen so many quote tweets from Arsenal fans saying "legend" and all that.
yeah. It's mad. That's Twitter for you.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
that's.
a couple of people on YouTube that said the same thing.
There are some YouTubers that did do the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
name names because I don't rat people out like that. I'm not a doxer. But yeah, it's disgusting. And I would never celebrate anyone getting injured.
no, never.
So I think that's enough on Arsenal. So we have Crystal Palace. Who did they play? Who were they playing?
Played Man United last weekend, I think.
Yeah, and they drew, didn't they? Yeah,
Yeah.
I predicted they would win 2-1 actually, if you remember from our previous podcast.
Yeah, predicted a 1-1 draw, I think.
And I think that's what happened, no?
There was 0-0 in the end. It's 0-0 in the end. But they both missed chances, so could have been 1-1.
Yeah, nil. That's a bogey ground for Man United, isn't it?
Yeah, they haven't even scored in their last 3 games against Palace.
Yeah. So I think that's all the. Oh, no, we have Fulham to look to next. Oh yeah, Fulham versus Newcastle. Wow, that's something I didn't expect. Do you think Eddie Howe's lost the plot?
Yeah, I do think so because he keeps playing Dan Burn, and Lloyd Kelly together, keeps playing Sean Longstaff, and there's a lot of players on the bench he could play instead. But he decided to be too loyal to the people that he stuck with 2 years ago that have fallen off.
And I don't think his head is actually fully in the job either, because ever since the England role got called up, I think he's just been. Jesus, are you feeling well?
And I've got a bad cough, but yeah, that's my first sneeze. But yeah, I'm all good, man.
Because we can end the stream if you're not feeling well.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I was worse like a few days ago.
Okay. So yeah, Fulham versus Newcastle. Yeah, I honestly think Eddie Howe has dropped. I honestly think it's gone down for him ever since he came up as a favourite for the England job. I have a funny feeling he wants the job. I don't know. That's just me being a bit jealous towards Newcastle, or whether there's some truth to that.
I think he's not happy completely at Newcastle, not because of the England job, but because that they can't spend the money that they want to. So they really struggled to spend in the transfer window due to FFP restrictions that they've tried to recover from all them years ago. But I don't think he's completely happy, and I think he knows he's under massive pressure because the owners are going to look to him and be like, "Okay, you're not good enough anymore. We're going to move on."
Yeah, why can't he just say that himself? Why can't he just go to the owners and say, you know what, here's my resignation. Go find someone who can take this team forward.
Because managers are stubborn and they have too big of an ego to do that. I'm not just saying just him. I just think managers in general, they don't have that in them. Because they're always going to think they're the best man for the job.
No, but I mean, obviously easier said than done. If it was me, I'd leave with. But think about it this way: would you rather leave your club as a hero, on a high as a hero? Oh, do you not? You know that term?
Yeah.
Hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah. But he doesn't know. He doesn't think he's going to become the villain.
Would you not bow out as a? Would you not rather bow out as a hero, or get sacked as a villain?
He doesn't. That's the thing. Like, you're right, but from the manager's perspective, because they're so stubborn, they don't think they're going to become the villain. Even though as fans, we can see it from an outside perspective because we have no attachment towards Newcastle.
Yeah. Look, I'm sorry. Even if things go downhill with Enzo, he probably will kick up a stink and get himself sacked.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what it is? If it goes down, if it doesn't go well with Enzo Maresca, I think it'll be more the fans at the ground rather than himself. I don't know whether he's the type to lash out necessarily. I think he's slightly feisty, but he's more sneaky with it.
Oh no, we boo our players and managers if they don't do well.
Same.
Like a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't boo." Mate, we paid a lot of money for that ticket. We can do whatever we want.
Facts. Like literally, if you think when you go to a ground that you're not seeing like whatever you're seeing is not good enough, you can do what you want.
Look,
You paid the money.
Look, if you have a bad performance and you're look, this is my rule. If you're going to Stamford Bridge, if you have a bad performance and if you're getting subbed off, you're getting booed. If you have a good performance and then you get subbed off, you know what?
Yeah, exactly.
Standing ovation.
Yeah, people act like that you can only do the positive things.
I don't care if you're from the academy or you're bought from another club. I'm gonna hold all of you. I'm gonna hold them all accountable to the same level. I'm not gonna show favoritism. Because he was bought by he was bought for 50 million. Oh, he came from the academy. No. If you have a poor performance, you're getting booed. If you have a good performance, you're getting a standing ovation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for example, remember that Wolves versus Chelsea game? Like that Madueke, he was really good in that game, and our fans, rightly so, gave him a standing ovation when he got subbed off.
Yeah.
So I think all we have left now for the stream is the predictions. So I'm just going to make up the document and we'll begin. So, who are you guys playing next?
Brentford away.
Confident?
No.
It's another London derby.
Yeah, we have won. Well, actually, no, we won against Palace. But yeah, been struggling in London derbies.
Is the game at the Brentford Stadium or in?
Yeah, it's at Brentford.
Oh, so in Hounslow.
Yeah.
Brentford. Sorry. Oh, no, Nottingham Forest versus Fulham. Ipswich Town. Man United. Right, it's all ready. Newcastle versus Man City. What are we saying?
2-0 Man City.
I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I'm gonna go first for this one. Chelsea versus Brighton. I'm going for a 3-2 Chelsea win.
2-0 Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea. You go first for this one.
What is it? Brentford, West Ham.
Yeah.
2-0 Brentford.
2 Brentford. I'm going for 3-1 Brentford. Don't go high. Don't skip the next show if you lose.
We've already lost millions of times. I've been here every week.
A lot of people have skipped my shows because they lost. Like they were either not panelists or they weren't in the comments. Everton versus Crystal Palace. What are we saying?
1-1.
1-1. I'm going 2-1 Everton. Arsenal versus Leicester City.
3-0 Arsenal.
3-0 Arsenal. I'm going 2-0 to Woolwich. Come on, but I need the Foxes to. It would be hilarious if they win.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest versus Fulham.
1-1.
I'm going for a 2-1 Fulham win. Wolves versus Liverpool.
3-0 Liverpool.
3-0 Liverpool. I'm going for 4-0 Liverpool. Ipswich Town versus Aston Villa.
2-0 Aston Villa.
2-0 Aston Villa. I'm going for a 5-0 Aston Villa. Man United versus Tottenham.
2-2.
3-1 Tottenham. I just think Man United will find a way to disappoint us yet again.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, literally, it's Disappointment FC versus Disappointment FC.
Yeah.
Bournemouth versus Southampton, so basically a South Coast derby.
2-0 Bournemouth.
I actually think Southampton will get their first win. Remember, this reminds me of how Sheffield United got their first win over Brentford when everyone thought Brentford would win. This reminds me of that.
I just think Southampton is so bad.
And Sheffield United were fantastic, were they?
No, but Southampton are way worse than what Sheffield United were.
But I mean, they're due a win. Like, no team goes winless all season.
Yeah, true.
2-0 Southampton for me. So, the final predictions are 2-0 Newcastle. Sorry, 2-0 Man City. And 1-1. 3-2 Chelsea and 2-0 Chelsea. 2-0 Brentford and 3-1 Brentford. 1-1 draw against Everton and Palace and 2-1 Everton. 3-0 Arsenal, 2-0 Arsenal. 1-1 in the Forest Fulham game and 2-1 Fulham. 3-0 Liverpool, 4-0 Liverpool. 2-0 Villa, 5-0 Villa. 2-2 in the Man United Tottenham game and 3-1 Tottenham. And 2-0 Bournemouth and 2-0 Southampton. So, yeah, that wraps up the predictions and the review from all the London clubs. Mike, where can people find you before we wrap up? Yeah, Mike, where can people find you?
At GBR Mike's on all platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and mainly YouTube. So come and check me out on all them platforms if you want to follow or subscribe.
And you can find me on all those socials below. You can also find me as an occasional caller on Football Carnage TV, run by the Big Six's very own Grizz Khan. And you can also find me as an occasional / semi-regular panelist on Worldwide Chels. Big up Sadiq. Go subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. I'm going to leave both those channels I've mentioned in the description below.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Oh yeah, I saw a lot of clips. I'm going to leave both those channels in the description below, so go subscribe to them. So that's Sadiq's channel, and That's GrizzCon. Go subscribe to both those channels if you haven't already. And you can find me on all those socials below. And with that being said, I shall see you all in the next stream. Laters.